Welcome to the SRS segment of the TNL. We have Junell Watson on the call with us today. How are you, Junell?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're seeing a lot of good stuff out of you, especially on the annuity side. How long have you been here at Family First Life?
Almost a year and a half.
Almost a year
So
and a half. And I've been here since day one, and it's cool the amount of people I like have no clue who they are, which is, I mean, that's just pretty cool because there's so many people and so many people winning at a high level. Back early on, like we knew everybody that was doing anything, right? And then I don't know, maybe 2, 3 years ago, I got to the point where like there's just no way you can know everybody. So what area do you live
I'm in Arizona. Yep.
in Arizona? Okay. So are you around
Surrounded by
Grady and
top
them?
producers.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Nina and Hayden, Grady's out there. Bowen's out there too, isn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What team are you on?
I'm on FFL 320, so I'm on Joe
Okay.
Bassett.
Yep. Joe's a beast. He's closer to me on the East Coast. So all right. So how long have you been writing annuities?
Um, I got my first one pretty early on.
Okay.
Uh, so I would say probably within 6 months, I got my first annuity opportunity. It took a while, a huge learning curve, but
Sure.
I would say at least the last year I've been consistently finding them.
Okay. And the first 6 months, were you asking the question?
Yes,
You are.
I was asking the golden question. Absolutely. I remember being in my first annuity opportunity. I was in the home on the call with my upline, talking to actually Matt Borsch, and he goes, "Okay," he goes, "Stay calm, and you're going to say exactly what I'm going to tell you to say." And I had no idea what I was doing. It was maybe the fifth home I had ever been in, and he's like, "Just say this. You either pique their interest or you don't, and then you set a second appointment." And I literally did exactly what he said, and it worked. And I was like, all right, I can do this.
Right. That's pretty awesome. And it's because it's hard not to get excited too when you're a new agent. And like they might say, "Oh, I got 400 grand." You're like, "You got 400 grand," and you want to spew all over them because you just normally do as a new agent. Um, and then so that was in the home, and now you've transitioned to 100% telesales, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
for
did
a
you?
minute, go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say for a minute, I struggled when I went to telesales. I kind of gave up on like annuities was kind of out of my tool belt. But I realized it was a mindset thing. Like in my head, I had decided people weren't going to give me a large amount of money over the phone.
Sure.
And then an opportunity presented itself, and it was almost like I would be doing the client a disservice to not pique their interest. And so after I did my first one 100% virtually, it was like, now you've done it once, I can do it over and over again. And
Yeah.
ever since it's been great because people are looking, they want it. People are interested and they want it, and they're looking for a safe place to put their money.
Well, the crazy thing is the market is so freaking volatile right now. If you're not asking that question, I mean, with all due respect, you're a fool. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So so obviously mindset, thinking people won't give you their information over the phone because they don't know who you are. How did you overcome that? Was it just like, I'm going to do this? Was there some tool that you utilized? Like what made you feel comfortable to do it over the phone?
No, it just, like I said, like it was like I couldn't not say something. Like every client we sit with, we have an opportunity to put them in a better position than when we met them. And sometimes it's as simple as putting a policy in place, but sometimes that doesn't necessarily make sense. So how can I put this client in a better position? And so it just, when it makes sense, it makes sense. And I always like, the person who asks the most questions wins. Sometimes I keep asking questions until I figure out how I can help this person, because a lot of times it's not that simple. But once you find it, it's like a no-brainer. And most of the time, they are looking for something, or they are interested, or they've been worried about it. Like I had a client the other day who he literally thanks me. He goes, "I literally lost sleep thinking about what was going to happen to my retirement." Like he goes, "I would watch it every day." And he goes, "And I couldn't sleep thinking about, do I need to go back to work?"
Mm. So
Like
that's
that's how
that right
stressed
there is
out
crazy.
people are. Yeah.
Right.
So,
That's enough to make you go, you know what? I'm going to do this every single time, bar none, because there are more that scenario, what your client was feeling is probably at this point in time where we are more common than the latter or the opposite of people just going, I don't really care. It'll be all right. Um, so give me your top 3 pointers on annuity sales via telesale.
just the person who asks the most questions wins. To be completely honest, I don't I don't know that much about the product. I just pique their interest enough that they want to see it. I submit it to AMS, or SRS now, and and then they give me what I need and I present it to them. And most of the time, if I asked enough questions to meet their needs, then I'm presenting them exactly what they're looking for, and it's a no-brainer. And so I'm not a financial expert by any means. Like I said, I don't know much about the product. Each client is individual, and I just present exactly what is presented to me to the client. And they always go, this is exactly what I was looking for, because I listened to what they were saying and I presented that. And then I gave them the solution to their problem. And I mean, it's really that simple. It sounds crazy. It is.
Honestly, Janelle, I love that in the sense of you don't need to be an expert on these products. You don't need to even be an expert on annuities. Like it's as simple as when the market's doing well, you're going to make money. When the market's not doing well, you're not going to lose money. We have lifetime income products if you need it. We have products with no fees and no caps if you want it. So like you don't need to know a ton. Can you run down? So, and I think the most important thing you just said was I ask a lot of questions and I actually listen to what they're telling me. And then I just go to the SRS team. Can you go through some of the questions you ask after you find uncover money and you go, would you be interested in learning about something that could save you money or make you money when the market's doing well, but have you not lose money when the market's not doing well? And they go, yeah, I'm interested. What are some of the fact-finding questions you asked to give to the SRS team?
Yeah, I mean, I ask what their plans are for retirement and what their plans are for that money. Like a lot of times their accounts aren't even for their retirement. A lot of times they were put in place to leave a legacy. A lot of times they have dreams of like buying an RV and traveling the world and like just different things. Like, what does your ideal retirement look like? And kind of asking those questions and painting the picture, because then when I present it to them, I get to make it a reality, like that their money can do what they want it to do if we protect it. And I mean, that's really it, because you want to connect with them and let them know like you're helping them. Like, obviously, yes, this benefits me, but I only win if they win, right? And so it's just finding what is going to make them want to make that decision, because you're solving their problem or making their goals come to fruition.
So what would you say to an agent that's their fear is, I don't know enough? I mean, we listen to how you present annuities, how you get the products you should sell. What would you say to somebody that says, I don't know enough to do this? What would you say to them?
You don't need to know anything. You literally do not need to know anything. You just need to know enough to ask the golden question, pique their interest. Hey, if I can show you something that's going to eliminate any market loss and give you the best potential growth, is that something you're interested in looking at? And they'll be like, yeah, of course. Or absolutely. Like whatever they say, like that's it. And then you say, okay, perfect. And then I always handling what I'm doing right now. Okay, perfect. That's a different conversation, but let's get this taken care of now. And then at the end, I'll ask a few more questions. I'll literally pull up the form and ask them those questions. What are your goals? What are we looking for? Submit it, schedule next appointment. And then once again, I still know nothing. Whatever they send me, they tell me the bullet points I need to say to the client, how to read the illustration and present it. And it typically is a no-brainer. Or a lot of times they'll want to talk to someone else, which is totally fine, because like one of my clients the other day said to me, his financial advisor was really upset when he found out he was moving his money. And I said, yeah, but he couldn't tell you that you weren't doing the right thing. And he said, exactly.
Mm.
Because that's the whole thing. Like, we are doing right by the clients. And so as long as you're always putting the client in the best possible position, then it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. Well, this is phenomenal stuff. I love your financial advisor. They can't tell you you're not doing the right thing, because that's facts. I mean, in 90% of the cases, they can't. You know, there are probably a few cases where it might not be the best idea to tie their money up in an annuity and keep it in the market, but the majority of the time they can't say you're not doing the right thing. And that's a great way to handle that. Instead of getting all flustered and worried, you're just like, no, they can't tell you. But you also seem very, very not concerned if they want to do it or not. It's almost like, here's what we have to offer. This is really good. Take it or leave it. And I think that probably poses really well for you, especially over the phone, because you don't seem to be pressed. Is that a safe statement?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So Junell, thank you so much for hopping on. Guys, take away from this, she's not a financial expert. Junell doesn't know a ton about the products. She goes right to the SRS Ask a Specialist page, answers all the questions there, submits it, waits for them to get back to you. Then she takes the products that they offer, the SRS teams suggesting. She reads the bullet points that are what the product offers, and then she takes the application. I mean, is that pretty much how it goes?
Yep, exactly.
Again, anybody can do this if they truly want to. You just have to start asking a question. So, Junell, again, thank you so much for joining us. This was fantastic information. Guys, until next time, make it a big week. Appreciate y'all.